Hey, how's it going, everybody? Another pickups video for you guys, which I've lost count on how many times I've done this video as I keep figuring stuff out on the system before I post the video, so I just delete it and start over like I'm doing now. But for now, I've pretty much figured out everything that I can figure out, other than this thing is, let's say it's finicky when it comes to games that I've already installed on the system. When it comes to playing when it's online, not as an outright online gaming, I don't do that, but being online or offline, it's very confusing. And it's been screwing with me on that. Like, do you want to work or not? It's pretty much that. Otherwise, all the games that I picked up for it, I've installed and played, and some of them I've updated. Almost 9 o'clock at night, so doing this video late because that's what I was doing all day, was waiting for a game to update, hence 57 gigabyte file, so it took a bit. Otherwise, I've also tried some 360 games on it, and when they're working, they work beautifully. Depressingly beautifully. is The two games I wanted to try are of the same nature when it comes to bugs, as in first game and then the next game that they did after that still had bugs, even after they supposedly did all the updating they could on it for the 360. And I'm not seeing any of that on this system yet. I'm very impressed when it comes to playing older games. I don't know how extensive that library is. Some of the ones I tried when it comes to older games wouldn't do it. So what I'll have to do is see if somebody's got a list written up of all the games that do work. Otherwise, I'll show you what I've tried. So anyways, I'm going to show you this badass controller that I found first. This I got a while back. Didn't have the system yet, but no way was I going to pass up on this controller. And man, this is something where, only if I was there like 15, 20 minutes at most earlier at the Goodwill, I could have scored a freaking Xbox One system. Don't know which model, but one of the black ones, bigger than this, and the condition did not look bad at all. But unfortunately, when I got there, a couple of dudes were already hovering over it, and just waiting to see what they were going to do, and obviously they bought it because they'd taken it over, found a TV to hook it up. I guess it had enough stuff to where they could test it in the store, make sure everything was okay, and they obviously got it, or somebody else did. Because I hung around and waited and waited and waited, and they were all gone, and it was gone. And on this controller, I think this might have came in with that system, but they didn't set it out yet. I didn't see it sitting there when they were hovering over it while it was still sitting on the shelf. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have snagged this too. It was just a little dirty. All I had to do was just wipe it down a bit. It was just dirty. Otherwise, everything's with this controller. It works beautifully. Hopefully it hasn't been played to death. It looks too nice to have been played to death. Everything looks good on it. One thing that I've noticed here in Arizona, especially with my PlayStation controllers, I think it kind of depends on what kind of rubber they used on the little thumbsticks. We have dry rot when it comes to rubber here. That's why there's so many fucking kids running around, man. It just rots them things away, and then Billy Bob's born. Otherwise, man, it depends on the type, to where it either just starts getting crumbly, or it will get like it's just caked in oil all the time, just greasy, oily, and then just start disintegrating. It's just that frickin' dry heat sucks the oils out of it or something. I don't know. It's the first place I've ever lived to where I've had that problem, and it's not just here in Kingman, man. It's back where, not in Bullhead, but Golden Shores, Arizona. Little piss-on town. Anyways, when I was there, same problem, man. I noticed that on any pocket knives that I'd get that had rubber inlays for the grips, they just rot. So this one stays in the case when I'm not using it. The other one, hopefully it will do okay. Otherwise, got the system cheap at the pawn shop. So I can always find myself another controller cheap enough to replace the original. Otherwise, I'll stick to this one. So anyways, for anybody that's never seen one of these, which if you're into gaming, you've probably seen one of these. Just don't know if you've ever had one of these, because very expensive controller to buy new. Even that they've discounted it, it's still very expensive. I think it's just over $150 at Walmart and maybe like Amazon or whatever, man. Otherwise, got myself an Xbox Elite Series Model 2. It's got some of the extra features compared to the Model 1 controller, I guess. A few more buttons and stuff you can do. So anyways, so man, I just had to wipe everything down. The case is in really good shape, and also get that lined up. A little flap there. This covers up a little port to plug in the cable that comes with it, to where the case is also the charger. Really cool. You just leave the controller sitting in it and it charges up. Otherwise, really nice charging cable, which it should be. Well made. It's like cord wrapped. It's really well made and really friggin' long. I wish I had more of these. The only thing I don't like about it is compared to the controller that came with my system, different type of plug. I do not know what type this is called. I've only got it on... Oh, that's it. I got the same type on my Oculus Metamucil Quest 2. It's that elongated oval shape, unlike the ones that are on the regular controller, which is just like my PlayStation 4. So I can use the charge cable that I use for my PlayStation 4 controller on my other Xbox One controller. Otherwise, cool enough. So anyways, here is the controller. Say, man, really nice condition. Somebody took care of it. They just didn't clean it up very good. Otherwise, the big deal on this is it's programmable. You got some extra buttons. You can take off the little thumbsticks. They just go over a post and just hold in place via magnets. Same thing with the cross pad, which right now I'm using that disc. Kind of like the disc. Otherwise, same old thing, it just fits on via magnet. Otherwise, they do give you a cross pad to put on it. And on the little thumbsticks, the ones that are on it now are the standard type. Give you a couple that are a little bit wider and more smoothed out. No texture around them. So just little short posts. And then, I don't know what the hell you'd use this for. Give you one that's a standard style, but with twice as long the post. And then one, it's kind of mushroom shaped. It's a little bit wider. Doesn't have the texture on it, it's just got some rings around it to grab onto your finger, thumb or whatever. And then on the extra buttons, just the light. See those two holes on each side there? There's a micro switch next to each one. And they give you these little metal pieces to fit in there that are kind of like pedals. Just snap in place with magnets. And and that gives you 4 more buttons that are programmable. You got 2 long ones and 2 short. Then also, which is pretty damn cool, you take these off, there's a little Phillips head screw inside the post, which it's funny that it looks Phillips, but the screwdriver they give you is a just a little flathead. Anyways, you can adjust the tension for movement, which right now, let's see, do I have them all the way in or not? Yeah. Got them set for tight now, which basically makes the movement tighter. Otherwise, it's just, you don't literally screw it, it's like just a twist and then they'll pop up. When they're popped up, it's basically just the standard controller tension like you'd have with the regular controller. So cool. Feels a lot better when they're tightened up a bit. They just feel more solid. Also, fire buttons just got a little bit different feel to them. And each one of them has a switch. Where right now, got full pull on them. Go down once on each, half pull, all the way down. Just enough of a pull for like a first-person shooter game, which is mostly what I collect. It's like if you're playing Halo, man, it's just enough to pull the triggers. Otherwise, let's see anything else on it other than the usual stuff for plugging in your headset. It is a nice looking controller, and right off the bat, compared to the one that I got with the system, this definitely feels, just comparing them on the weight, this feels like it's built better. It's just got that chunky feel. Like there's more guts in it, just more solid. It just, everything feels more rugged. So, we'll see. From what I've looked up on it, let's see. Yeah, I'm not a fan of controllers that have the battery built in to where once that dies, you can't have it wireless anymore unless you know how to open it up, which this, I have no freaking idea how you'd open it. The screws must be well hidden on it or something. I have no idea. I'd have to see if I can find somebody disassembling one. Otherwise, it's supposed to be a 40-hour battery on a full charge. I have no idea how long the battery is supposed to last on a standard one. It's the controller I got with the system. Just takes a couple of AA batteries, and I'm totally cool with that. Because either use the batteries or I'll just find a cord. I'm sitting like 2 feet from the system. It's like right there, so I don't mind having a cord. That doesn't bug me at all. I'm old school. Saves on batteries. So otherwise, very cool. Show you guys a screwdriver. It's a weird screwdriver they give. Little teardrop one. I say it's just a little flat, just enough to get in there and adjust the tension. So anyways, this controller, I had my 20% discount. It basically knocked it down to $20, man. It's a just killer freaking deal. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys the games I got with it. Right off the bat, I was able to snag the system for $200 even cash for the system, boxed. No instructions or anything, but boxed with, I believe, everything that was supposed to come with it. Controller, system, cords, and also a game. Even $200. Which, another pawn shop where I got the majority of the games from, they've got the systems, but not like this. They're always loose. I've I don't think I've ever seen a system boxed there other than like Oculus or whatever on the VR type stuff. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any boxed systems there ever in the way of just regular old game systems. So I think they're about $10 less than what they had on this. Otherwise, after tax, like I say, man, even $200 for the system in a game, a good game, which is the one that I just got fully installed and updated, which now it's like freaking maybe 95 gigabytes on the system. That's where my friend here is right, man. They take up a lot of space. Before I forget, man, this is also a terabyte system, and this other pawn shop, I think that's for a terabyte system, to where the price is just $10 cheaper. So it'd be like buying it without the game, loose, hopefully working. Otherwise, they charge by the size of the hard drive. My other pawn shop that I usually get all my stuff at, it's just whatever. All the games, same price at that pawn shop. This other place, more expensive on some stuff, but on the games, some of these I got for $5 a piece, man. I believe this was one of them, but I think I paid $5 or $10 at most. Anyways, got Gears 5, which just want to start playing a little bit just to try it out. After just doing the regular install off the disc, which I'll tell you what's up with that once I show everything. That's where it got really confusing on when I can play the effing game. So anyways, looks frickin' beautiful. Really good graphics. And I say this is the one that I bought with the system. Got Halo 5, Guardians. Really good so far. And then Gears of War 4. This one's I've been playing a little bit. Just haven't done the update yet, so I don't know if there's any extra goodies or not after updating it. Otherwise, good game. This one I did update it. This is one of the first ones I started playing, and I've got this on multiple systems. I've also got it on PS4 and PS3. I just like the game. And I got lucky on this, where y'all know, man, when it comes to DLC, when they give you a code, sometimes it could be used multiple times. Most of the time, no! Billy Bob already used it, so no, Jimmy, you can't have it. Otherwise, Billy Bob didn't use this one, so I was able to download the extra stuff, which is cool. So now I can play it on a better system, because the only one I was able to do that on previous was my PS3. So anyways, got Alien Isolation, Nostromo Edition, hence the bonus DLC where you get to play as either Ellen Ripley, Dallas, or Parker in Crew Expendable. We are having to escape the Nostromo, whatever. Mind me if I sound burned out, man. It's the first day where I'm not hurting like hell. Had my therapy yesterday, so a little bit better, and the pain pills have kicked in. Otherwise, that's why I didn't do a video for a while. I didn't just get this system. I've had it for a few days now. I just get ready to do a video or do the video, and then I'd feel like crap afterwards. Otherwise, good game. In fact, this one where, oh man, when it comes to mods, I really wish freaking Facebook, Meta, Musil, Oculus, whatever, would do ones like this for the freaking Quest, to where you can download it instead of having to have whatever and play it online. This one, somebody modified it to play in VR, and it looks freaking awesome. There's a lot of them that they've done that with that Oculus hasn't picked up on yet. Or Metamucil Quest or whatever, man, now that they've geezered it up. Otherwise, this is another one I already have. This is my third copy. I got 2 copies for PS4, the regular one, and then I got another copy because the box looked so freaking cool. It's the one that's the tin box or whatever. And naturally, none of the DLC worked or whatever with it. But cooler looking box. And I love this freaking game. It's Borderlands 3. And this one, all I've done is install it. I haven't updated it yet because I know the update's going to be freaking huge. If it's anything like the PS4 version, it's got to be freaking huge. And this is one to where it wouldn't let me download the DLC, but it's stuff to where I either already have it or already have played it to death because I'm like old or something. And I've played all the stuff from the far back times. Well, it's got Doom Slayer Collection. No Slayer included. And if it did work, what they give you is the original Doom 1 and 2, like what you had on the freaking PC back in the 90s. And then the original Doom 3 for Xbox 360 or whatever. And then the remake here for 2016. So, cool enough, man. Badass freaking game. Another game that I just freaking love. Anyways, like I say, man, some were $5, a couple were $10, one was $6 for some reason. Was, man. Getting a stack started. Now on 360 games. This was the first one I installed. Limited edition of Darkness 2. Another game that I freaking love. Looks and plays beautifully on this system. And then these two, like I say, man, I've got one of them's the Game of the Year edition that has all the goodies: The Pit, Broken Still, Point Lookout, Mothership Zeta, which happens to be Fallout 3. It had problems playing on a regular Xbox 360. And that's two different Xbox 360s, same problem. And then I got Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition that also has all the extra goodies. Which, on installing this, I'll tell you what I had to do, because I did it the other way by accident, and you don't want to do that. It freaks out the system, and then you got to uninstall it, as in undownload it. It doesn't install off the disk. What it does is it will download the Xbox 360 games off of the Microsoft network or whatever and give you the best version of that with everything up to date. So once you've downloaded it, installed it, if you do it the right way, everything should stay good and you shouldn't have to do anything again. Otherwise, you got to do it the same freaking way that you would do on a regular 360, to where if it's got a disc with DLC on it, to where it says on the box here or whatever, to do that first, do that first. And what's crazy, makes it a bit faster when you think about it. It will start with all DLC, and then once it installs all that, it will automatically, because it figures, okay, you obviously got the game, it will automatically start downloading the game after the DLC, even that you don't have the actual gameplay disc in the system. So we'll just do it. But when you want to play it, then yeah, I believe you pop in the regular old game disc. Let's see, both of these. Yeah, both of these are 2-disc. Now the weird thing, this is where I just don't get it, because it was letting me do it for a while, and then all of a sudden it kept glitching on me. So I don't know if it was just a glitch. One time all it took was just restarting the system. So maybe it was just a system glitch or something. As they do all this through emulation. Can't remember if it was Fallout 3 or New Vegas, but trying to play it offline, and I pop in the disc, and right as soon as it got to starting up that 360 logo, it would just stop and go back to the system menu. I couldn't get past that. And then once I turned off the system and reset it, started again, it did okay. Another time, same thing. It wouldn't let me frickin' play it. And then as soon as I went online, all of a sudden it let me play it. It's like, make up your freaking mind, you stupid thing. which so far that's the only bug that I've had with it, which no big deal once you figure it out. It's just annoying. And then for anybody new to this system or whatever, when you're installing the regular games, before it's fully installed off the disc, it will give you the idea that you can play it, which some of them, what it'll do is you had to load up the game, which I don't know which one it did. It acted like it was going to let me play it, loaded up the menu, but then it said, okay, you can't play until it's up to full installed, where it would show a percentage. So I was like, okay, so I just closed it and let it install fully. So when you're installing, another hint, install the games offline. That's where Gears 5 and I believe another one, I can't remember which, screwed with me. To where I had to uninstall it and start over offline. It would not let me just install it off disk once it started doing the online shit or whatever. It's weird. Sometimes it'd try and mix the files together for getting it off the disc and then online. It's just crazy how they did it. That's where it's turning me into a PlayStation fanboy, which I'm not a fanboy of anything, man. I'm old school. I like all of it. I really can't say that I got a favorite system, man. I like all of it, going back to frickin' Atari. But it's like, I've never had to deal with that on my PS4 other than maybe, I think Cyberpunk. I had to download or do the first update because it was so fucked up in order to play it. It wouldn't let me play the game until I updated it, which pissed me off. Otherwise, usually you pop in the disc, it installs the game, boom, you can play it online or off. And then on the updates, hence, won't let me do it on this, it will say, okay, there's an update for this game, do you want to update it? Or do you want to play the game without installing the update first or whatever, or downloading it first? And you can have the update downloading while you're playing the fucking game, which on this you can't. It won't let you play the game while it's updating, man. It'll just say, it won't finish before update or whatever if you click on it. I mean, it's just, there's some things to where, why would they do that when PlayStation makes it so much easier? And other things, only had one game that full-on just glitched out on me. Oh, I forgot on the updating. I think it was Gears 5. That one, I was online, I popped in the disc, started installing, but it also wanted to update, so I figured whatever. So I was doing the update at the same time, and let's see, I didn't fully update it online, but it was weird. It acted like it only got like 10 gigs at most off the disc, and then the rest of it was going to be online. And it just made it to where I couldn't play it until it wanted to be fully updated. So the way I got around that was just uninstall it, play offline, pop in the disc, and it was like 47 gigabytes or whatever that it installed off the disc. Very freaking weird that one would be about 10 gigs and the other 47. And then I was able to play it. It's now I got everything installed and everything's playable so far without having to do full-on freaking updates. But when I'd installed Borderlands 3 and updated it, the first time I played it, and this was just a flat-out glitch to where it didn't lock up the system, I was able to just go back to the menu and start over. It was the start menu, when you get to where it's play and whatever, options, blah, 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 it wouldn't let me select anything. It was just froze on the play thing. Stuff was going on in the background, like it didn't freeze up the graphics and crap going on in the background, all the crazy crap with claptrap and whatnot. It just made it to where I couldn't do the menu system. So I just closed it out, started it up again, haven't had any issues since. So it's just a little finicky, man, which PS4, man, it's got its problems, which I haven't updated mine recently, so I don't know if there's any new update or not, but the last time I updated it seemed to resolve a lot of the stuff that was happening with games, to where when the game would crash, it wouldn't just freeze up. It would flat out crash like you'd have it on a computer, where it'd go like blue screen, give some random data that has absolutely no fucking meaning to any of us whatsoever, unless you're the one that made the fucking game. Like blah blah blah, this happened to this number, blah blah whatever, please contact or whatever, which usually when it does that, if it'll let you go back to the home page on PS4, then you can just restart the system or whatever, but it just crashes everything to where you have to restart your entire game system. So far I haven't had to do that, other than the one time when it had to do with just, it didn't want to play an Xbox 360 game until I went online. And also, on those Fallout games, once I was online and got the game started to where it was in the main menu, just hit the home button, go offline if you don't want to be connected to the internet, and then the game will still play. Just, otherwise, man, just wonky-ish, whatever, finicky. I got cats, man. I'm used to freaking finicky, man. They're assholes, so I'm used to finicky. I'll name the thing Kitty Cream or something. I don't know, whatever. Otherwise, show you the box here. Got was Xbox One S, terabyte. That's the nice side of the box. The other nice side of the box. The other nice side of the box. The still other nice side of the box. The nice-ish side of the box. And somebody ripped the tape off too damn fast side of the box. Otherwise, cool enough. What the frickin' hell do I got on there? And nice actual foam type stuff instead of just that styrofoam that falls apart. So if I wanted to store the system, these are nice. Let's see, no. Is this Microsoft on it anymore? I'm assuming this is the HDMI cable that came with it. I'm using a different one. It just doesn't say Xbox or anything on it. It just says high-speed HDMI cable with Ethernet, blah, 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 whatever. Otherwise, decent enough. Not real long, but I like these short ones anyways. I don't like long freaking cables, because more of a chance to where it's going to get cut or snagged on something or whatever. So anyways, just saving that. Mute it. System, same, man. It looks like it hardly got played. This controller looks brand new. There is not a scratch on it. I didn't even have to wipe anything down. I mean, there was no signs of use. So, I don't know what the situation was with this on whoever brought it to the pawn shop. Otherwise, man, right place at the right time. Anyways, on the system here, same thing. really, really clean. It only shows on the bottom just a little bit of just light scuffing from it sitting on a table or whatever. Rest of it really clean. And once I got it under the light here, I couldn't see any dust anywhere on the fan area or on the sides or whatever, man. Just really freaking clean. All the ports, same thing. Clean. I am not used to that here. Usually, if anything, the disc slot, that felt area, will be all dusty dirty because Arizona. Clean. Now that I got online with it, because some of the games I didn't recognize, I said, man, I don't play online games, but a lot of it was just online games to where you download for free and then you play online with a subscription or whatever. That seemed to be what was on it. Like, did the person even use the disk drive to install anything? It makes me wonder if they just used it to do online stuff or watch Netflix or whatever. Which was pretty much it, man. They had Netflix installed and then, like I say, some online type games. So, maybe it was an adult that had it and just didn't care. Another thing to where, oh man, I don't know if I would have still gotten it instead of this or not, because this was a good deal. The other thing was a good deal, but it was definitely played. Same thing, man. First time I've ever seen one in a box at one of my pawn shops. They also had a PlayStation 4 Pro, and that was rounded off at $250, man. Let's see. I don't even think I looked at the controller. Yeah, I just looked at the system, and that's what made me decide, nah, I didn't want to take a chance, because all the little USB ports and stuff, they were all really freaking dirty. The fan areas on it looked dirty, like somebody definitely played it a bit. Also, had the usual sticker on it, or stickers, which this one, at least it was a sticker, just a big one, which would have been fun to try and peel off. Somebody likes skin. I like it too. Holds my fat ass together, but I don't want it stuck on a game system. Had nothing to do with video games, just skin. Whatever. Blue color tweakers make the world go around. Otherwise, man, just too many red flags. I don't know if they still have it or not. I haven't been down there for a while. It's the pawn shop I got it at. They got one really close to me, and then the other one's clear at the other town where I got this. And they both have a little bit different stuff, so sometimes one have better stuff than the other. Like one has all the Blu-ray movies, the one in my end doesn't. So, 38 minutes. Can't really think of anything else to say on this system, otherwise I'm liking it. It just took me a bit to get it figured out on that stupid operating system. So, call it quits here. See if I can get this video uploaded. Hope you guys had a good Halloween. Mine was The Sound of Silence, because all the little bastards frickin' went to the school or church or wherever the frickin' hell they were doing Halloween for them. Like anybody'd want to take their kids trick-or-treating around my area, man. I mean, boy. Even if there's a couple night lights on with the homes around me, it is just pitch frickin' black. I don't have any street lights around me, so usually don't get any trick-or-treaters. I haven't had them for years, so I was cool with that. Don't need kids running around in my yard and whatnot, tripping over stuff, breaking stuff, whatever stuff. So, hope you guys survived it. Have a good one, everybody. Don't know when I'll have another vid up because pain. That's why I took a while on this. So we'll see. I still got stuff to show. Later.